There's an old saying that the eyes are the windows to the soul. Let's have a talk about it and see whether that's true. Hello, this is James from Therapy Business School. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I'm an online counsellor, a hypnotherapist and a life coach. I'm also a podcaster, a YouTuber and an author. Now, in my last video, I gave a talk on body language and how it can be useful when you're working with clients. If you haven't seen that one, I'll put a link for it just up here. Now, this one is going to be more of a demonstration of one of the techniques, and it's all about eye accessing cues. All right. Now, what happens is this is something that generally cannot be controlled, and it's an automatic thing. You can try and beat the test with this, but most people, when they're talking, their eyes are darting all over the place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some words around the screen, and the words represent, if my eyes go to those areas, it means I'm either accessing my imagination, or I'm remembering, or I'm accessing feelings or sounds, or this kind of stuff. All right. So it's going to be a true story. I'm going to talk about my past, my present, and my future. Let's see what happens. So in a moment, I'm going to tell you a true story, which is going to be part of my past, my present, and my future. And I'll put some words around the screen, so you'll see that as I'm talking about this thing, which is completely unscripted, you'll be able to see where my eyes are going as I'm accessing certain feelings. And before I publish this video to YouTube, I'll go back over in the editing process and I'll do a summary at the end to see whether I agree or disagree with what my eye accessing cues are potentially saying. All right. So you're going to get a video of me talking about this thing, whatever the thing is, and then another video of me within this video clip giving a review after watching myself on film, if that makes sense. All right, so let's get into it. Now, when I was a little boy, I remember waking up one day and going downstairs, and in the living room downstairs there was a drawer that had been taken out of a chest of drawers, and it was on the floor by the fireplace, and there was a blanket inside the drawer, and from my position on the stairs I could see something black inside the drawer, and I didn't really know what it was, and it must have been maybe 5 or 6 or something like this. So what I did was I got on my belly and I crawled towards the drawer. I remember peering over the top and I could see this black thing. It was just like a black mass, but I could see like this little pink thing in the middle of it. And I was thinking, what's that? And then so my eyes opened and it was a dog. It was a little puppy. This became my puppy Bess. And Bess was wonderful. She was a little black mongrel and I just loved her completely. And she was... for the dog owners amongst us, you know, when you get home and that dog just gives you that welcome, no matter what kind of day you've had, the dog is happy to see you. Now, Bess used to sleep on my bed, and it was quite nice because in the winter, if I was going to bed and Bess was on top of my bed, when I pulled, it was no duvets then, it was sheets and blankets. And when I had to get Bess off my bed so I could get in it, the bit that she'd been lying on the top had made like a warm part on the mattress. Now, I haven't got a dog at the moment, and I've still got a picture of Bess, and she sits, the picture sits on my kitchen window ledge. So when I'm there doing my dishes, I see Bess every single day, and I couldn't have asked for a better dog. She was wonderful. Now, I haven't got a dog at the moment, and that's for a number of different reasons, but it's still my goal to get another dog. Now, what I'd like to get in the future, initially I wanted to get a Labrador, but doing some of the research around this, I know that Labradors molt a lot and I can't be doing with a dog that's molting. So I'm thinking I wouldn't mind getting a cockapoo, but I'd like a dog that I can go running with. So I don't know whether a cockapoo would be okay with going for longer runs or whether I'd need for something else. So I'm going to have to do a bit of research around it. But I want it to be not too big a dog. I definitely don't want it to molt, and it's got to have a nice personality. That's a big one. So my goal for the future is to have a dog, and I'd like to get maybe I'm undecided whether to get a chocolate one or a maybe a black dog or maybe a golden one. I just don't know. I haven't even decided yet. All right. So that's my little story about dogs. So I've watched the footage of me talking about my dog Bess and how I haven't got a dog at the moment and my hopes for a dog in the future. And what I would say was generally the eye accessing cues were correct. I was looking in a certain direction when I was remembering something. And I was accessing feelings about my dog when my eyes were going down. And I wasn't really thinking about how Bess would sound when she was barking. But I was accessing feelings about how I felt to be getting into a warm bed, and I was accessing those feelings then. Now, with eye accessing cues, one of the ones that's more difficult is when someone's looking straight ahead. And that can be if someone just knows a story, and they know a story verbatim, and they know it, rote, and they can just talk about it without any need to remember anything. It's almost like a script in a way. But when you start getting into the deeper end of the thinking pool and the memory pool anyway, their eyes are going to start, the eyes can't stay looking forward, because if you're asking a client to go down the deep end thinking about something, their eyes are naturally going to be going in certain directions. And for the hypnotherapy people who watch this as well, that works even if the person's eyes are closed. So even though their eyes are closed, either in trance or out of trance, their eyes are still following this pattern. All right. So I got this and a number of other things from a book by James Borg called Body Language. All right. And it says how to know what's really being said. It's a good book and I'd recommend it. In my last video, I did a bit of a read of the blurb on the back. But it's been knocking around for a few years, this book, and I've definitely had it for a few years. It's one of the ones on the shelf. So let me know what you think of this. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree? Do you use body language yourself? Do you stay away from body language? Or do you leak? Do you think you're an oversharer with your own body language? So, bit of a fun one for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you've enjoyed the story about my old friend, Bess, who I still miss to this very day. She was lovely. So I'll see you on next week's Therapy Business School. This is James. Bye bye. And the extra thing that I mentioned at the start of this video, I've just created a Facebook group also called Therapy Business School. And it's going to be all things that are going to be linked to this channel, but a little bit more and a bit more access to me, and we can build up a bit of a dialogue and a bit of a community, which I think can be really, really useful. So the link is going to be in the description. Check it out down there. Bye bye.